you shot John. But we're going to cover a little bit of this in a little while. Okay. Procurement department. Oh my God. I could spend all night in the procurement department. I have been chasing the procurement department for 10 years. In 2000, we had a grand jury investigation that talked about the procurement department. They said it's wrong, it's corrupt, it's not working right. We have a disparity study right now on the city website that says the procurement department's out of control. Right this morning, I was in a deposition with Jim Ellis, one of the attorneys representing the city, and we were going over, guess what? The procurement department. But everybody doesn't recognize the elephant in the room. Solutions. I'm not going to stand here and tell you I got every solution, but by God, I'm going to try. And I get tired, and I get aggravated. I shut down CSRA Health in January 2008 because I swear to God I thought we had a working government. And I don't want to be here. I shut it down. Shut down the website, shut down everything. I sent a message to the mayor. You got a working government. What happened? Same old thing. Let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the table. Race. Let's not race. Race. I love NASCAR. Deal with it. If I want to motivate you, any one of you, I want to really motivate you. I can motivate you. I find out what turns you on, I turn you on. It's either going to be money, acceptance, self-acceptance, acceptance of others, love, fear, and hate. If I can get you to hate somebody, I can control you. So think very carefully about race and hate. Who's controlling who? There, I said it. It's done. It's out on the table. So when you want to motivate somebody to move, you get them to hate you, you can get them to do anything. Next slide, please. Property taxes. Oh my God. They're talking about raising our property taxes again. What can we do? Well, you know what capital construction is? Anybody know what capital construction is? Capital construction is like when we buy police cars or we buy things, equipment. They're talking about cutting capital. They're talking about shutting down our senior centers. They're talking about closing the patch. They're talking about one day a week garbage services. That's going to smell funky in August and September. We're talking about cutting out Saturday bus line. Saturday bus line service. What's that going to do to the people that shop that depend on the bus line? What's that going to do to the retailers that depend on the people that shop on the bus line? What's that going to do to our elderly, our handicapped, and our poor that need the bus line? What is it going to do to the people that the only way they can get a job is they have to get a job on what's called the bus line? How do you find that job? You get on the bus and you go to the first place to stop. You get off and you see if they need some help. You get back on the bus because you know that's your only transportation back and forth to work. So we're putting these people out of business. And what are we doing to people that hire these people? We're making them short-handed. Where's the fee? Good God. What can we do? Johnny, jump in anytime. Back property taxes. How many millions of dollars do we have in back property taxes? How many fines have we levied against nuisance properties? Or the fines stiff enough to make them? You get in one of these guys' pocket deep enough, he'll even tear that house down or do something. And if it's a nuisance property, somebody will die of crystal meth that they'll burn like the Holtz boy. We need to examine all properties that are currently tax exempt. Wait a minute. You mean there are people that own property that got them tax exempt? Absolutely. How many millions of dollars is that? Well, they printed a list in December of 2004 and again in January of 2005 talking about properties that tax exempt that pay no property tax. Would that be a source of revenue for us? Talk about where else we can cut back. We got the pension plan in 1948, we got the pension plan in 1950, we got the pension plan in 1965, we got the pension plan in 1972, we got all these different pension plans. Do you know a deputy sheriff with 30 years experience on the police force, the sheriff's department? Do you know what his expected pension is with 30 years of service? Anybody want to take a guess? $500. For being a dedicated law enforcement officer, you're going to want to not get too technical with you, but there's a defined benefit retirement plan and a defined contribution retirement plan. A defined benefit retirement plan, I'm a little bit technical now, but this is what I need to explain to you, is a liability to the city. It shows up as a liability on the balance sheet. But that says to you, if you come to work here and you work for a period of time, we're going to give you an income for your entire life. Very expensive to maintain. Every corporation that I know, IBM, all the big major Fortune 500 companies have gone away from defined benefit plans and gone to defined contribution. That alone will save us millions. Millions, and it'll provide a better retirement for the $500 that the guy with 30 years is going to get on the sheriff's department. There's not been a competitive health care bid. Health care. I asked one of the commissioners, why haven't we had a competitive health care bid in years? He said, I don't know. And I said, well, why don't we self-insure? With a group this size, we should be able to self-insure. Swear to God, the answer was, we have too many sick people on the payroll. How do sick people get to work for the city? Well, they know somebody that gets them a job. And then they get on disability, then they get bypass surgery. Fact. Everything I'm telling you is fact. There's new tax-saving strategies that are available to us to reduce the cost of health care. They're called HSAs. Highly deductible plans. They work like a Roth IRA. Everything is pre-tax. We will save millions. HSA, high deductible health care plan. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Good. All right. We got to quit wasting money on studies. Already covered that. Let's go to the next slide, please. Anybody there? Let's go to the next slide, please. Here's a good one. A local investigative reporter uncovered that we were paying $10 a pad for Post-it notes. How about that? We have proved privatization works. And I hope I have my facts straight. But a local mailing company just lost a city contract for taxes and water bills because they brought it back inside. And did it go before the commission? Did it? No, because it costs more to do mailing internally than it does to privatize it. Absolutely. So wait a minute. What are we talking about here? A couple $100,000 a year because we have 225,000 bills that are mailed out, and we mail out water bills every single month. We're talking about a lot of money. Remember, kids, how many 10,000s in 100? How many hundreds in a million? Now we're 2 million. The water department is what they call an enterprise fund. That means all the money has to stay in the water department. They're talking about raising the money in the water department. That comes up over. Let's use some of that money. What they can't do is if they figure out a way to do it, I promise they'll do it. X-market. Oh my God. We're talking about, anybody want to give a weigh in on X-mark for me? Anybody know about X-mark? Anybody? You know what it is? Yeah. I don't agree with it, but it's a lawsuit we're probably going to lose under the Freedom of Information Act. Let me tell you something. The First Amendment. Does anybody know what the First Amendment says? First Amendment.
Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, all freedoms.
And let me tell you what the second part of the First Amendment says. You will be able to address